Welcome to Pinoy Ghost Files. Tonight, we have 3 terrifying ghost stories that will send shivers down your spine. From eerie encounters to unexplained phenomena, each tale will draw you deeper into the unknown. So, sit back, relax, and prepare for a chilling ride through the supernatural. Let's dive in. Story submitted on January 27th, 2015. Story number 1, title Headless Priest. This particular story happened to my boyfriend during his high school days at a popular Catholic school in the metro. He experienced this scary incident during the junior-senior prom. He was assigned as one of the ushers for the event, and as an usher, he would patrol the school grounds for any high school students who might decide to have unwanted solitary time. Wielding his flashlight, he walked down the halls of the famous old building of the campus and whistled a happy tune as he scanned the area. It was really quiet in that part of the school, and he wondered why the silence was so deafening and disturbing for some reason. He patrolled down the halls until he realized that the library door was open. "Aha!" he whispered to himself and slowly entered the quiet and dark library. Inside, he flashed his flashlight all over the place and said, "Hello? Is anybody here?" Nobody answered, and he entered the area cautiously until his flashlight caught sight of someone in the far corner of the room. The person seemed to be wearing brown priest clothing, somewhat like a monk, and he seemed to be browsing an old book. He was reading using the dim light from a candle. "Father, have you seen a student here?" he asked in a respectful tone and slowly walked towards the priest. The priest did not respond and seemed to be solemnly reading the book he was holding, paying no attention to his query. "Father?" he asked again, and this time he was just a few steps away from the priest. He tapped the priest twice on the shoulder, and that was when the priest responded, "You are the only student I have seen around here. Shh, please keep your silence." "Oh, I'm sorry, Father." "Thank you." He responded and flashed the light at the priest to see who it was so he could thank him. He stopped, and his hands trembled as he saw the priest. He was talking to a priest with no head. He shouted at the top of his lungs and ran as fast as he could to get out of the library. He knew that his face really went pale, and he could perfectly feel the cold sweat flowing from his forehead down his pallid cheeks. He kept shouting vulgar words as he ran down the stairs of the old building and swore that he would never enter the library alone again. For that matter, he never volunteered again as an usher for any school event. Later on, he found out that the headless priest was one of the pioneers of that school. Story submitted by Amanda. Title 8. I'm not from UST. Just hoping that this will be posted. So here's the setting. When you enter our gate, there is a bathroom on the left, a mini garden on the right, and directly in front of the garden is our main door. When you enter inside, there are 2 rooms on the right. The room close to the door is where my sibling and I sleep, and the room at the end is where my parents and youngest sibling sleep. The living room is on the left. Opposite the living room is the dining table, and beside that is the kitchen. There's no partition. Opposite the dining table and the kitchen is the door of one of the rooms I mentioned earlier. My parents weren't home yet. They hadn't returned from work. It was already afternoon, so I washed my 2 younger siblings while I took care of the cooking. So I was the only one in the house. It was quiet. I couldn't understand the type of quietness at that time. So I started singing. I was interrupted when I heard a noise from the ceiling, but I thought nothing of it and continued singing. The noise happened again, louder this time. I became silent and listened carefully. The noise happened again, coming from my parents' room. At first, I was scared, but then I became annoyed because I thought it might be rats in the ceiling. Damn rats, they might kill me early. But then, the noise happened again. It sounded like there was a chase going on in the ceiling, so I thought it was rats. I whistled loudly, hoping to scare them away. I approached my parents' room because it seemed like there was no noise anymore, but that was a huge mistake. When I touched the doorknob, the door suddenly banged loudly. I felt it as if there was someone right behind the door. Out of fear, I froze in place. I couldn't move and was panicking. I was sweating and felt like something was pulling me inside. 8! My sibling shouted. I suddenly could breathe again. Everything seemed to return to normal, though I was still trembling. I pretended nothing happened. "What are you doing there?" my sibling asked. "Nothing. Hurry up and get dressed," I said. Since then, I never stayed alone in the house or anywhere. It took me a long time to tell them about it, and to this day, I feel like it could happen to me at any time. Story submitted by Guy. Title: Double Deck. Hi, haha lol. I'm not from UST actually, just a fourth-year student, and hopefully this will be posted. I've read other spooky stories, so I hope you like mine. I was planning to stay at my uncle's place because my cousin was arriving from Manila in the late evening. My uncle said we could use the double deck in the vacant room, so I put my things in the vacant cabinet. After that, my cousin called me to join them for dinner. After dinner, my cousin and I decided that she would sleep on the bottom bunk of the double deck and I would take the top. I agreed to what my cousin decided. Next to the top bunk of the double deck is a window with curtains. I couldn't sleep due to my insomnia, so I looked out the window and saw a woman in white. I ignored her and turned away from the window. After a minute, I felt a cold sensation on my back. I wanted to move, but my back grew colder. When I turned around, she was right next to me, covered in blood and crying. I fell off the double deck out of sheer terror. I was about to get up when she looked at me with eyes full of rage. I couldn't sleep until morning and told my uncle about it. He said that a woman often roams around their compound. After that, I never stayed overnight at my uncle's place. I've had many experiences with ghosts. Puyat, White Lady. Thanks for joining us on this chilling journey through the unknown. If you enjoyed these ghostly tales, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to never miss a new story. Have a paranormal experience of your own? Share it with us in the comments or send us a message. We might just feature it in our next episode. Until next time, stay safe and beware of what lurks in the shadows.